Well, I am here with Lindy Hoyer. She is the executive director of the Omaha Children's Museum. Lindy, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Andy. Thanks for asking.
Well, one of my favorite places in all of Omaha is the Omaha Children's Museum. There's always so many wonderful things happening there. Let's just first start off about, what is your mission and who do you serve?
Well, our mission is to engage the imagination and create excitement about learning. And we serve families with young children in Omaha. And it's really a unique mission and a unique audience. And we're just thrilled to have Omaha's families to serve.
Yeah. And again, the Omaha Children's Museum is just like this happy place. It's a happy place for people to go to. And I know COVID-19 has totally thrown a wrench into that. And you've really had to look at what you're doing and how you're doing it. And with the holidays coming up, you've always had so many great things for families to do. So let's just kind of talk about, what's going on and how can people, be involved in the Children's Museum.
Yeah. Well, we are currently open. We're open 5 days a week, Wednesdays through Sunday. We have a limited capacity, so we strongly suggest that people get their tickets in advance online so as not to be turned away at the front desk. We are operating well below our capacity at about 10 to 11% of what our actual building capacity is, in order to maintain things like social distancing and just keep everybody calm in that. We have looked at our traditional holiday events and created virtual opportunities. The one that I'm most excited to tell you about is our Santa's Magic program. We figured out a way to have Santa magically appear virtually within your homes in a very safe way, but to restore kind of the tradition of bringing your children to the museum to sit on Santa's lap. So those are wildly popular, and the demand is very high for those Santa's Magic virtual opportunities.
And I know, just from watching kind of over the last few months, the Children's Museum, you've done, in my opinion, you've done a really good job of looking at how you can bring the virtual aspect to people of the museum. If they can't get there or, for whatever reason, rather than not being able to experience the museum, you are bringing it.
Right. Yeah, and that's tricky because we are experientially based, business, and so trying to figure out the meaningful way in which we can virtually and digitally provide some of that same excitement about learning and getting the imaginations going has been a challenge. But fortunately, due to the closure and the pandemic, we've had some time to experiment with that challenge and to get better at it as time has gone on.
Yeah. So let's just talk a little bit. Okay, so you've got the holiday event coming up. Just how can people contribute to you?
That is the biggest way to support the museum. And even if your family has long ago outgrown the museum, it's really important that this organization be here for the next generation and the next generation. So simply considering Omaha Children's Museum in your year-end giving. We have a shortfall that we are facing to cap out our year. And so every donation, every roundup from an admission, even if you go online and buy your tickets, if you just round up to the nearest dollar, we will benefit from that, and it will help us close that gap and continue to keep on doing what we can, whether it be open and inviting families in person or offering better and more variety in our digital presence.
Because typically, how many people come through the museum?
Well, we've been averaging over 300,000 visits annually. We've had some years where that's been up to like 325,000. And that's significantly less in 2020.
Yeah,
and, we closed down middle of March and we were closed through the summer, and usually 2/3 of that 300,000 visitors come during the spring break and the summer season. So, and with that comes a lot of earned revenue that just didn't come in this year. So we are, through no fault of ours, we have some financial challenges ahead.
Yeah. Well, I just want to thank you again, Lindy, for coming on and chatting with me. I
Absolutely.
love the Omaha Children's Museum.
Well, I love it as well, Andy, and it's worth fighting for, and it's worth
Yes.
your support. So if anybody watching this feels so inclined, we would welcome your support.
Absolutely. All right, Lindy, thank you again, and
Thanks,
wishing you a
Andy.
happy holiday season.
Same to you.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.